Hey everybody, more notes because notes are our lives, and remind me at the end to tell you how to cut this out because I didn't. Remember, I was supposed to do it last video if you watched it and I didn't. So I'll remember this time. So again, we need pencil, highlighter, and also that red ink pen again. So you got that red ink pen, grab it back out as I'm doing the same. So let's start with highlighting our notes. Okay, there are three easy things to remember. As we practice, we will get it done. So we're starting off with lining up the factors to the last digit in each number a line. Okay, so in short, lining up your digits. But we'll get through it. And then multiply as you would with whole numbers. Okay. And then find the total number of digits past the decimal in each factor, and the product will have this number of digits past the decimal. But you know what? That's a lot to swallow. I'm gonna break it down a minute, and then we're gonna run with it. And also, we need grid paper. So I'm pausing you. You won't even know it. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and we're gonna start with some examples. Example 1. So on our grid paper, okay. So example 1 is 4 and 68 hundredths times 8, okay? So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to number it, okay? Number 1, circle that. All right, so our notes over here are saying to line up the factors so that the last digit is in each number align. So 4, so I'm just going to put my digits down. 4, 6, 8, okay, and then times 8. So 8 goes to the last digit. You see what I'm seeing here? The last digit has to align with the last digit of my number on top. Now, here's the thing. The difference when we're doing this on grid paper from adding and subtracting decimals is that my decimal, when multiplying or dividing, does not get its own square. Okay, and that's okay. So I am going to place the decimal where it's supposed to go between these two digits, okay, and we're multiplying. So there it is, all right. Then my next step says to multiply as you would with whole numbers. So we're multiplying. 8 times 8 is 64. This is where our math facts really come in. 8 times 6 is 48, plus 6 is 54. Bring the 4, carry the 5. 8 times 4 is 32, plus 5 is 37. Okay? Then, here is the thing. You have to skip. Oh, no, we don't, because it's only one digit. What am I talking about? We'll do that next. So now we have multiplied as we would with whole numbers, and then you need to find the total number of digits past the decimal in each factor. Remember, factors are the numbers we're multiplying. So 4 and 68 hundredths is a factor of this problem, and 8 is a factor. Okay, just clarifying. So what I'm going to do is I draw an arrow to the right of each factor. Okay, and I'm going to count the number of digits to the right, 1, 2, of each decimal. This one has 2. This one has 0. I'm going to add those guys together. Stay with me. So what I'm saying right now, what you're seeing is that there are going to be 2 digits to the right of the decimal in my product. Remember, a product is the answer to a multiplication problem. I'm starting at the back, and I'm going to swoop 1, 2 times. So my product is 37 and 44 hundredths. That's it, right? That's it, okay? All right. So we're going to look at this example right here. I love this, but we're going to transfer our product, 37, to our notes, okay? But we're also going to keep that grid paper in there. We're going to keep that grid paper, okay? So my example 2, And here is something that's a very sixth grade, middle school kind of thing that you probably did not learn in intermediate school, is when I have a parentheses, when I have a digit or anything inside a parentheses next to another factor, another number, another rational number, another integer, what have you, and there is no operation symbol, okay, like over here I have multiplying, there is no operation symbol. That means that we're going to multiply. Every time you see that, a number next to parentheses with no operation, always, always multiply, okay? So just start ingraining that, because if you remember that, when we get to order of operations later on, it's going to be just easy peasy lemon squeezy, okay? So that's going to be multiply. So I'm going to put number 2 on my paper, okay? And I'm going to write my problem. I'm not putting decimals in yet. I'm putting my digits, 0092. And then my second number, my second factor, has to line up with the last digit here, and that's a 4, okay? And then we're going to multiply. Now, I'm also going to, again, put my decimal where it belongs over here. It's between my zeros. And I'm going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 9 is 36. Carry that 3. 4 times 0 is 0, because anything times 0 is 0. But I have to add that 3, so I have 3. And then 4 times 0 is 0. And I have no other digits in my factor, so this is going to be my product. But hang on now. That next step, so I've multiplied as I would with whole numbers, drawing my arrow. And I know some people are like, I don't want to do this. I'm telling you, it works. How many digits do I have to the right? 1, 2, 3. 0 over here. Add those little nuggets together, I get 3. Again, this 3 means that I should have 3 digits in my product to the right of my decimal. So starting from the back behind the 8. 1, 2, and 3. So I end up with 368 thousandths. Hot dog. Okay? 2 more examples together. We're going to get through this. So my next one, number 3, always leave some space. We don't want to crowd. 5 and 8 tenths. So again, I'm just putting my digits in the boxes. And then I have 2 and 2 tenths. So I have to, so what I do is I'm going to take this number right here, my 2 and 2 tenths. And I'm going to go from the back. Fill it in from the back, because it has to line up with the digit to the right of my first factor. I've lined up my factors. I'm going to put my decimals where they belong. Now let me show you something else. In this case, my decimals lined up, but we only require them to line up when you're adding and subtracting decimals. When you are multiplying decimals, you put the decimal where it should be in your factor, okay? In this case, it just turned out real pretty, but we'll have an ugly one in a second, I promise. So we're multiplying, okay? So 2 times 8 is 16. Carry that 1. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Now that was the end, so I'm bringing both numbers down. And now I have to, remember, hold a space here. This is where we didn't get there yet. This is where my 0 comes in, okay? And the reason why is because we are moving to the tens, whatever, tens place right here. We are no longer working in the ones place, so we have to put a placeholder 0 right here. So now I'm continuing. 8 times 2 is 16, and we would have carried the 1. I like to X out that number on top so that I don't forget that I've used it. What do I do? 16. And then 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. Adding them together. Okay? And then 6, 7, 2, and 1. But we're not finished yet. We have to do our decimals. So again, draw my arrows. I have 1 to the right up here, 1 to the right down there. Put them together. 1 plus 1 is 2. What does that mean? It means I need to have two digits to the right of my decimal in my product. Here, 1, 2. And that's what I get. Okay. You know, I've done a bad thing of not writing my products over here. I'll get better. So will you. That first one. The second one was 0, 368 thousandths. And then my third example, what do we have? 12 and 76 hundredths. So my next example, again, I have a rational number right next to parentheses with no operation. So of course we're multiplying, okay? Just a great way to introduce that. Throw it out there. Okay. Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you real quick. This is how I do it. However, you can do it however you want. I look at my numbers. I like to put the number that has the most digits on top when I'm multiplying. It helps me better. You can do you-boo, however you want to do it. Either way, it doesn't matter. Order doesn't matter when you're multiplying or adding. But I'm just letting you know how I like to do it. So I'm going to show you this. I have 12, 4, 5, 2. Lining it up. 3, 1. Now I'm going to place my decimals where they belong. And here's a great example. Let me show you this now. Okay. So I said when you're adding and subtracting decimals, you must line up your decimal. When you multiply, no. No to the no. Okay? And here's a perfect example. You're lining up your digits. That's what's important with multiplying. That's the difference between multiplying decimals and adding and subtracting. Okay? Line up your digits, then place your decimals. And now we're going to multiply as if they were whole numbers. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry that 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Carry that 1. Get rid of that other 1. Okay. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Get rid of that 1. 3 times 1 is 3. Okay. And again, because we're moving on to the tens place, we are holding a placeholder in our ones. Okay. Now I'm going to multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. And we're going to add these together. Okay. So now I have 6, 7, 8, 11. Carry the 1. 3 plus 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and 1. Okay, are we done? Absolutely not. Figure out where that decimal is going. So I have 1, 2, 3 to the right over here, 1 to the right over here. Add those little nuggets. 3 plus 1 is 4. My decimal in my product must have 4 digits behind it, moving from the right. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, stop that. Look at me making a mistake again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 16 and 1,876 10,000. No, I didn't spit though. All right, that was a lot, right? I'm transferring this. 16, 1876. 16, 1876. Okay. So, what you will do on your own, we'll do together in practice, but I need you to do this yourself. Okay. You're going to come down here and work these out. You're going to work these out on your grid paper. I want you to work it out in the grid paper, and then I want you to transfer your products to this paper right here, okay? So we can do an easy, quick check here, and if it's falling apart and we don't know what we're doing, let's look over here, okay, friends? Then there's more. What? Yes. Yes. There's more. There's 10 more. So this is going to be something we're going to work on in class together, that you are going to practice. You're going to struggle, and that's okay, but you've got to do the work. And then we have these beautiful things called applications. applications right here. Okay, so let me talk about this real quick. What are we doing? Yeah, we're multiplying decimals. So each one of these problems is doing what? Multiplying decimals. And there's a little bit more. There could be a little bit more. For example, a plant is growing at about 65 hundredths inches each day. Find the change in the height of the plant in 12 days. Okay, 12 days. So what are we multiplying, right? And just to kind of give you a little refresher here, highlight, underline, like what is important here? Well, I know I'm multiplying, but I know I'm going to be multiplying this and this, okay? And do not forget your statement. When you are writing this out, writing your statement, complete sentence, capital letter at the beginning, punctuation at the back. Tell me what, and if you're like, I don't know, well, go back to that last sentence. Find the change in height. That's what you're going to tell me. And don't forget your unit of measurement, which is this, okay? And number 12, same thing. Read it. What am I multiplying? And what are my units of measurement? What am I, tell me, what did you come up with, right? And here, number 13, I'm just going to look at this real quick. Greg's car gets approximately 18.9 miles to the gallon. If he is trading in his car for a new car that gets 1.25 times more, how many miles per gallon does the new car get? That's a good one. It's a really good practical one. And then number 14, it might be a little salty. Pumpkins cost 79 cents per pound at the fall market. Not a bad deal. If Misha picks out a pumpkin that weighs 21.82 pounds and then pays with a $20 bill, how much change will she receive? Oh my gosh, Miss Collins, it looks like a multi-step problem. It sure do. It sure do. So just thinking about it, I'm not going to give you too much. But first of all, just know you got to figure out how much is it going to cost, and will my $20 cover it? Well, they're kind of telling you it will, because then you got to figure out how much change she will receive. So you're doing another operation. Hint, one we've done notes on already. I cannot wait to see you do this because you are awesome sauce, every single one of you. But so make sure, my friends, that you put this. You put all of your work in the grid paper. And remember, I promised you I was going to tell you how to cut these little sweet things out. So when you are cutting out paper, okay, you are going to cut across where it says main ideas, questions, because we don't need to put the other stuff on there. So I'm just going to cut the top off to show you what that's going to look like, okay? All card. So I'm just showing you so far. I cut across the top here, so I took this off. We don't need it. And then I'm cutting along all the edges, and that's what you're going to do as well on both sheets. So these will fit lovely in your interactive notebook. And so if you ever have questions, you can always ask. If your mom and pa are watching with you and they have questions, they can email me, call me. I'm working on those boundaries, parents, I am. And we'll figure it out. We'll get it figured out because you guys are awesome. So thank you for tuning into my YouTube video here today on multiplying decimals, and we will see you next time.